Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday and it is 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I tell you, it must be going to be a juicy show today because we having technical difficulties everywhere today. Caused us to be a few minutes late. But thank you for sticking around and waiting on us to go live because we got a great show for you. You know, we are finishing up on a four-part series dealing with Norman, the instructor of trading. He's a trading instructor. And I tell you, he has been really filling our brains with a lot of good information. And he's backed by popular demand. You know, it's actually some people requested him. I don't know who, but they did. So let me get this out the way so we can move forward. I always like to give a shout out every time I go live to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of the 30 plus years that we have been traveling, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. Now, the good thing about having a mentor is that they have traveled in life long enough to be able to tell you where all the potholes, pitfalls, and all sorts of craziness can be. So if you get a mentor, celebrate them, hold on to them, don't let them go, hang on to their coattail because they are valuable. Get you a mentor and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And today, I can truthfully say that our guest, Norman, is a mentor. He's been mentoring many people on the, pitfalls of trading. Okay. So don't underestimate our guest on today. I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to browse around and take a look at all of the advertisers that we have. Here are a few of my advertisers. Search Synergy. Search Synergy is helping people save money on your home and business on solar panels. If you have been seeing all of these solar panels popping up all over the place and you want to find out additional information about it, reach out to Search Synergy so that they can help you understand what's going on with solar panels. Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. If you are a wine drinker or a cognac drinker, you need to get in touch with Sam. He's getting his holiday inventory in, and I promise you, you do not want to miss out on your next favorite wine. So click on any of the banners that you may see on the website for our affiliates and our advertisers. Go there, make an appointment to talk to them. They can help you understand what you may not understand, okay? Last but not least, I always like to save this one for last, especially when he's a guest on the show. And he has a special promotion going on that's affiliated with the show. And that's the Prince Hunter Financial Group. And he is offering 4 free classes. 4 free classes for anybody that reaches out to him and says that you heard about it on this show. Oh, I want my 4 free classes. He will explain to you what the classes consist of and what it is that you'll be getting for your promotion. So now, welcome back to the show on today. Our guest, by special request, Norman, back to the show. By the skin of his chinny chin chin. He just, y'all ever see that movie, The 5 Heartbeats, when the guy come running in and slides on the floor and starts singing? That's Norman today, y'all. He just slid right on in, right on time. Okay? Mm-hmm. Welcome back to the show, my brother.
Glad to be
here. So since you're here, why don't you explain about the promotion that we got going
on? Basically, as you keep messing up every time we do this on purpose to make me explain, but it's not 4 free classes. I'm giving away 4 free hours of my time. So I will talk to anybody that wants to talk about the market, any questions they may have, anything about trading, the process of trading, the business overall. I'll give you 4 hours for free, and I'll let you look around in the market in a platform or a trading platform that you can get familiar with, just so you can see what it's like. And you can choose to use those 4 hours up in 1 day, over 4 days, over 2 days. You do the math and you'll understand what I'm trying to say. But basically, it's 4 hours free to talk to me.
Okay. All right. We got a couple of shout outs here. We got Yvonne. She says, hey, guys.
Hey, Yvonne.
I'm saying forward to this interview. She got the sun shining. Willa Breeze is saying hello all. Right. Vaughn say hi mentor. You know, I can see her grinning when she say that. You know, but you know, and I talk about this every time. You know, I do a show. The importance of having a mentor. You know, and you can have mentors in many different areas of your life. You know, I have Dr. Hunt, we and him have been together for 30 plus years. And even now, you know, you and I have been bouncing off each other. I dare throw a number out there, at least 5-6 years at least, huh?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. So, you know, and he still takes my phone calls, y'all. That's a blessing in itself, because I usually get on people's nerve. But the fact that, you know, we're doing this 4-part series. This is the 4th in a series, straight in a row. You know, we ain't bouncing around. You know, we were supposed to have some additional guests on them, but they punked out, chickened out, whatever the words that you like to use, you know, about coming on with Norman. I don't know. I think you scare people, Norman. You know, I think you intimidate them to the point where they don't even want to be on the same show with you.
Well, the last interview I was a little uncut. I ain't gonna lie. So I did keep it 100,000. So
yeah. I know you can be, you know, but there's a reason. Your bedside manner may be a little rough sometimes, but it helps people get to where they're going.
Yeah.
You know, and
I just try to make people think. Critical thinking skills have long disappeared in society. And when it comes to your money, yeah, you still have to think critically. When it comes to life, you have to think critically. You know, yeah, robbing Peter to pay Paul is critical thinking, but at the same time, you still have to know what to do. I just had this talk this morning with somebody that I told him, I said, there's nothing worse than having no money and knowing what to do with it. In other words, you know, you have a plan, you have a strategy, but you can't afford to take the trade. That's one. And then it's even worse when you do have money and then you still don't know what to do with it either. You know, it's tough for some people to think different and critically about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And now that I start showing people what's possible when it comes to the market, you know, whether we're looking at stocks or we're looking at the futures market or options market, you know, wow, this is what it is. Like my student today, $2,200 today in his paper account, but he's only in this for 3 weeks already. And he's grasping the concepts and he's understanding what he needs to do and what's possible. When before, everybody had their own merry little life, thinking that was it, But they got plans and all, but it's just a little different.
Absolutely. I got to take a moment to read this comment. Yvonne said, "I am not dropping the fries."
True that. True that. Nope. Nope. True that.
you know. So and now we got to tell them where she got that from. A couple of 2-3 weeks ago, you started that statement off by saying that somebody got to drop the fries.
That's right.
But but it don't have to be me. So and that goes back to there's other things out there that make money other than working a 9 to 5, or whatever, 12 hours at McDonald's dropping French fries for minimum wage. I don't even know. Do they pay minimum wage?
They went up a little bit. Minimum wage.
You said a little bit.
Yeah, minimum wage went up a little bit, but what they gonna do? They gonna keep you 1 hour short of 40 hours so you can't get health insurance?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely. So understanding that trading, you make your own hours.
Correct.
You can make your own income. You can decide your future the way you want it to be the outcome. You're the boss.
Right.
And you being the boss, you can decide if you want to sleep till noon and get up, make your weekly salary all in 15 minutes, you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do it at noon, but, but the opportunity is there.
Right.
You can get the end of day trading and make just as much money as you can at the beginning of the day trade. So I've heard, because I ain't that person. I don't like end of day, and things can change for you. Your future can change.
Right.
All that college fund money that you're thinking about for your future grandchildren, children, you don't have to, take out of your paycheck, week after week in order to do that. You can just decide, okay, I'm going to put a college fund together and then go out there and make the money, in whatever you feel college will cost at that, 10, 20 years from now.
Right.
And then put it up where you want to put it up. Just don't sit there and keep playing until you lose it all,
Right.
So those are options that are available. We got another guest on the line, Aisha. She says, "Hi, Dr. Ron, Norman, and Yvonne." She's waving at us all.
All right.
So Aisha was on the show 3 weeks
3
ago.
weeks ago, yeah.
Yep, and she talked about a program. We're going to jump in here right away because we all know who you are already, so we ain't got to talk about your credentials or nothing. She talked about a program that she's involved in right now every day of her life, Earn While You Learn. Mm-hmm. Let's just jump into that. What is that? Tell us what that is. What is Aisha so excited about? What is she knocking it down doing on a regular basis?
Well, basically what that is a lot of people don't know, especially newbies to the business that want to be traders, want to get in this business and learn how to make money. There are companies around the world, not just in America, but around the world that will give you a trading account anywhere from, I've seen it go from 100,000 up to 1 million. But you have to prove you can play this game and make money. You have to be able to be efficient and proficient at this business, and they're going to give you a shot. And if you can just prove, yes, you have to pay for them to look at you. It ain't free. You have to pay for them to look at you. And if you pass or meet their criteria and their rules, they'll say, okay, Dr. Ron, here's an account number with $50,000 in it. Trade away. Just don't mess up. You mess up, what they're going to do is they're going to turn your keyboard off from their office. You can still use your computer at home to do what you want to do with your household stuff, but you will not be able to trade that account with that money in it. Going forward from there, once you prove to them that you can make this money, then they'll turn around and give you a real account. First, the account is going to be kind of fake. It's going to be fake money because they want to see how you psychologically trade. Are you good at risk management? Because that's what this is about. Money is floating around in thin air every day, all day, even at nighttime. But a lot of people don't realize that. But there are companies around the world that'll give you an opportunity to try to make some money. And then if you do well and you meet their rules and criteria, they'll give you 80 to 90% of the profit. They keep 10 or 20, you get the 80 or the 90. So what I do is I expose people to those type of companies, not for a fee. I don't get paid to do none of this. It's just that I know this business, when I started, it can seem helpless and hopeless and endless because you could be undercapitalized trying to make money, knowing that, you can't buy 10,000 shares of a $9 stock if you ain't got $90,000 laying around. So it's just me showing opportunities that are out there for people. And there are plenty of them out there that'll do it for you. And they'll do it in the stock market. They'll do it in the futures market. They'll do it in the options market. Some of them might even do it in the Forex market. But they're available to the public.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you a question. Earn as you learn sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a realistic or futuristic income that a person can make off of some type of programs like that?
Excuse me. So I keep it very basic with people to have a level of understanding. I'm not gonna sell you pie in the sky. I'm not gonna give you this whole Lamborghini type of concept of the business.
What? No Lamborghini speech, man? Oh, no.
No Lamborghini.
You mean that ain't look on that picture back there? That ain't your front yard, man.
No, not yet. But realistically, I do present relatively realistic goals for people. Somebody may, the way I talk to people is I ask them this question in the very beginning of classes with me when they pay for classes, not the free ones, but even still with the free ones too, I may ask the same question, which is, if your bills got paid every month, but it didn't come from your regular paycheck job, how much would that be? So some people say $4,000 is what I'm spending, or $2,000 every month is what I'm spending in my bills, which is really good if that's the case. But on average, everybody's floating around $3,500 and $4,500. So when I show them this business, I present it in the way that says, listen, it's 20 trading days in a month. That means if you make $200 a day, that's $4,000 a month, which means you get to keep all your paycheck and you can pay all your bills with the market's money. Now, that's not saying you cap yourself there. I'm saying that's the bare bones minimum basic approach where I'm trying to get you to start thinking critically, how can I make money in this business and pay for my bills and my lifestyle? That doesn't mean you can't make $400 a day. $400 a day, that's $8,000 a month. Now, there are people who I've been helping over the past few weeks, the new people who signed up with me and start paying for classes 3 weeks ago. They're seeing numbers like this. My first student today was around 6 o'clock in the morning. He called me 10 minutes late, but he was done before 7 with $200. So he did that inside of 30 minutes. And then he went about his day. The next guy had more time on his hands. He called around 7:30. He did $2,200 in his paper account. He's practicing. He's trying to get better. But again, what is he doing? He's seeing what's possible. He traded the futures market on the S&P. He traded some stock, and he traded some gold. There was his day. He did all that before 10 o'clock this morning. So those companies, if you can prove to them that you can do that, and that's why if people come to me, then I shift them over there. Look, hey, you undercapitalized with your own money? Here's another avenue for you.
That's beautiful. So literally, you can set your own goals.
True.
And then meet your goals.
True.
And then not have a problem, whether or not you want to continue doing this or not.
Right.
Because it's all decision making. You make the right decisions. We got a couple more comments. The people in the chat room are live today, y'all. Let's see what we got here. Yvonne said, people better get with Norman now because today's price will not be the same next month. Just saying. Okay. So in other words, you get in now, you might be able to save some money on the class.
Yeah, quite frankly, I ain't lying. I am planning on raising the price up.
Okay. Aisha said, say it loud for the people in the back.
That's right.
Okay. Now Yvonne and Aisha chatting at each other. People invest in yourself. This is Yvonne.
Yeah.
People invest in yourself because this is facts. So understanding what it is that you do, you are a mentor, and you take time with your people, and I'm going to go on a limb and say, if he start cussing at you and beating you up, he must like you.
Pretty much.
Or he sees something in you that's worth cussing and fussing at you about. Because he will, I tell you, he'll push you to the point where you can easily break, snap, crackle, and pop. And then turn around and then he'll answer your phone call and say, you ready to go to go through this process and get to the next level?
Right.
Because, I tell people all the time, because I've had some of your students call me, and say, I need help with this, and this. And I say, you're too emotional. Yeah. And that's a holdback or a hang up that you can have when you're dealing in this industry. Emotions can be your enemy.
Right.
You don't need to have your emotions when you're thinking, oh, ooh. This ain't that kind of game. What's the facts say? What's the charts say? Yeah. What is your system? What is your plan? What does your rules say about what it is that you should be doing at this time, right, and getting ready for the next opportunity? Now, I got to go over this now. You're going to lose. Yeah. You're going to crash and burn. But what you're going to do afterwards, right, that's the thing that determines, what happens next. If you crash and burn, I know what I did. I just reset everything, and then I took my lump upside the head afterward.
Yeah, like a lot of people try to avoid the losses. In this business, this is hard for most people to understand who come from whatever they come from. But the best loser wins. You have to learn how to lose. And that's, people don't understand that. So taking a loss of $200 on this one trade should mean nothing to you when you know what you can do. Hey, right, that's fine. I'll get that back on the next trade. I'll do one extra trade today to make. It's all about psychology. I try to tell everybody this in every interview I do with you and anybody that I talk to. Trading has nothing to do with money. It's all psychology. It's how you think about this. Are you a manager? Are you a good manager? Can you cut a loss and turn around? And in other words, cutting a loss is like cutting a bad employee. Somebody keeps showing up late for work. You going to keep giving them a chance? No, you're going to get rid of them. So it's the same thing with the business. You take a trade that works 97% of the time. I'll do better numbers than that. You take a trade that you've seen work 87% of the time. You still shouldn't lose faith in it because it lost one time. You shouldn't. 2 out of 10, whatever. You shouldn't lose faith. You have to be willing to get right back on that horse and do the exact same thing again. And a lot of people struggle with that. Well, how do I know it's going to work again? Well, it's going against me now. Get your nerves together. Rely on your strategy. Trust your strategy. If it loses, do it again the next time. And that's what I've been working with people as of this week and last week for the most part, that most of them see trades. It may go against them, but when they be like, what, I'm losing now, Norman, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter, because you know what you could do 10 minutes from now or the next time your setup comes. And that's the thing about this business, that is, it's not random. It's organized chaos. You have to understand how to see organized chaos
and decipher what you're seeing.
and
They
decipher.
over here they're having a ball over here in the chat room. I gotta come back to Aisha. She said, before Norman, I had long, beautiful, natural nails that looked like they were fake. Today I have ugly nubs. When Norman says he will show you the truth, he really means it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yvonne said, Aisha, you hilarious. And they both crying and laughing at each other. And Yvonne said, wait for your setup.
Right.
So the setup, talk about that a little bit. When you say setup, what is the vernacular? Your definition. What is that pointing to? What does that mean?
So you have to trade. You have to trade one strategy enough that it becomes. I said this to somebody today, 2 people today, as a matter of fact. I'm giving you different strategies so that by the time all of this is said and done, you found something that you're in love with, that you're willing to say, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. That's your setup. Your setup is your strategy. And if you kind of circumvent the strategy and you go, maybe take the trade a little too soon or a little too late, you may lose. And if you do lose, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself because you broke the rules. You went down the one-way street the wrong way. That's your fault. So you have to figure out what strategy or your setup. When you're waiting for a setup, you're looking at the chart behind me, trying to find and wait, not find, but wait for what you need to see happen. So I got a lot of people who are very impatient. I was just with one a little while ago. She told me from the beginning, hey, I'm impatient. I ain't got no discipline. And not to put a business in the street, I got ADD. So I'm working with people who are honest and brutally honest, and that's what I respect. So now I know how I got to work with you. I'm going to give you something that slows you down to the point that you become impatient. So now I'm forcing you to work on yourself. See, what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to a teacher, a good teacher is not one that indoctrinates you. I'm not trying to indoctrinate nobody in this business. I'm trying to bring out something inside of you. That's a sign of a good teacher, where I'm trying to pull something out of you that's been there that you just don't use.
Yeah, look, they over here having a ball. Vaughn said, wait for the set off. She took it out. God knows I went down the wrong way street several times. That's Yvonne. Understanding your personality or your pitfalls, does that really help when you come to this business?
Yeah, it does. This business will show you who you are. From my very first interview, that's one of the first things I've ever said. I don't care who you think you are. I'm not greedy. I got patience. I got discipline. Next thing you know, you're trying to make $100, but you down 1,000, and you on your 15th, 25th trade. That's over trading. You ain't got no patience. You're not willing to wait for a setup. You don't have no discipline.
Look, let me tell y'all what Norman did to me, y'all. This rascal made me take one trade a week. One trade a week, y'all. And I don't know what he was trying to show me, but he made me take one trade a week.
I really said one a day. You just did one a week.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So I took it to the next level. Okay. One trade a week. Okay. One in and one out. Okay. And I'm like, man. But what happened in that process, I discovered, that I'm probably the best petty thief out there. Because I can snatch what I need to snatch in one trade and quit.
And that's good discipline. That's good discipline. The
Yes.
person that I was just talking about a little while ago, their number was, it went from $50 a day to $100 a day. And then today they were up $800. And by the time I left, they was only up $100. They get, $200. Like they gave back all, and they gave back to $800. They couldn't stop trading. They got to
Mm-hmm.
do something. They want to push the button.
Yeah. Let's see what they're saying over here now. Let's see. Aisha said, Yvonne and I both know that there is treasure at the end of the long journey. If it's worth having, it will not come easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yvonne said, definitely shows you who you are. Yvonne said, I am greedy as fuck. Did she say that out loud? ASL. Yeah, greedy as fuck. Yvonne said, for sure, Aisha. Aisha said, Dr. Ron, that would have made me so mad to be limited to one trade. But but Norman knows what he needs to get when we are and where we are going. I love traveling and nice things. That's Yvonne. It's addictive. I agree.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was having a greedy problem. At least I don't think I was. But forcing myself to take one trade a week made me look at a whole bunch of stuff before I pulled the trigger on one bullet.
Well, I mean, that's good, and you're right. Again, another conversation I just had with somebody today about the business. The question was that I asked them, how did I put the question? I said, people say practice makes perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true. And they looked at me really funny, like, what do you mean that's not true? I've been hearing that all my life. It's how the look was. But in this business, that doesn't work. Perfect practice makes perfect. You have to practice perfectly. You can't be randomly doing stuff. You have to trade with a purpose. You have to practice with a purpose. Or else, if you kind of willy-nilly with it today with fake money, you'll be willy-nilly with it with your real money.
Absolutely.
Then next thing you know, everything that I taught you don't work. Oh, Norman, full of crap. It don't work. No, that's you broke the rules. You didn't make any rules to even break. That's the problem. You have to start with perfect practice. So you have to want to get better from day one. The odd part about this is that in the beginning, for newbies, I kind of let you do any and everything you want to do. Trade willy-nilly, because that's how you learn the platform. And there's less breath I got to waste teaching you something over and over and over and over again when you should have known this anyway. You got to practice the platform on your own. Let me work with you with a strategy. But I still guide people at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Aisha said, Dr. Ron. Okay, that would have made me so. Okay, we said that already. Yvonne said, I love traveling and nice things. She said, it's addictive. I had to realize that it's not all your money. Let's talk about that.
Uh-huh.
You always like to say that, when you're talking about, looking at what's out there and what you potentially can have. Let's talk about it's not your money. Let's
Okay.
break this myth buster. That's a myth buster.
Right. So a lot of my students hear me say this to them during the sessions. All of it ain't your money. Just because you see the market moving, going back to your strategy or a strategy or your setup, if it's not your setup, that ain't your money. Your money comes from your setup, your trade, your strategy. Somebody else is using another strategy that may have 10, 20 extra years on you that they're more seasoned as a trader. But when I tell everybody this, I say it every time I'm on the show. Missed money better than lost money. All of it ain't your money. Oatmeal is better than no meal. So if you get a chance to make $60 three times, guess what? That might be all you get. You have to understand that. So that's really it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So even dealing with that, I remember one time having a conversation with you that I think might fit right here. In the beginning of the trading day, people trying to get in, find a niche. In my case, steal what I'm gonna steal and get out the way. But then after a certain time of the morning or the afternoon, you mentioned the fact that all of the professionals, like the banks
mm-hmm.
and all of the big dogs that are in the race, they come in and they affect the market with what they're doing.
Right.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because you don't want to compete against them. You don't want to be nowhere near what they're doing,
You
because
want to
they can
be.
cause you.
I don't want to say you don't want to be near it. You want to understand what they're doing.
Okay.
So some people just think trading is about, oh, this green candle, this red candle, this green candle, oh, it's green again, or it's green again, or it's green again. Then they wait 3 minutes later or 15 minutes late because it's a green candle, and now they want to buy when they done sat there and watched it go up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's at the end of a move. Why is it at the end of the move? Because institutions are finna take it down.
Mm-hmm.
Institutional traders, they push the market around. We can't do nothing. So as newbies and novice traders, your job, from my understanding, what I teach people is how to understand what institutional money is doing. They can push it around. Remember, for you to make $1, somebody got to think it's worth $2. And for them to make $1, somebody got to think it's worth $4. So it has to keep going up, or else it just sits there and nobody makes anything. So you have to understand what institutions are doing. They're pushing this game up and down and sideways, and it does become a little boring, and it does become a lot frustrating sometimes. But institutions is is who you have to follow. And I use the analogy of a seal and a shark. A shark is not going to swallow a seal whole where there's no blood, no guts, no intestines, nothing. He's not going to do that. What are he going to do? He's going to bite it, shake it around, try to rip it in half, eat a little bit while he's doing that. But meanwhile, you, the little guppy fish, you following the shark because you know you could eat when the shark eat. You just got to stay out of the way of the shark's teeth. That's what I'm trying to teach people how to do. Go get your 200. Go get your 400. Go get your 1,000. But don't hang around, because you ain't got enough money to push it anywhere. You got to take your money and go.
That was pretty good, man. I like that. You can eat, but don't become a meal.
That's right. Exactly.
So you don't get in the teeth.
Right. Don't get in the way of the teeth. And that's why you see
good.
those National Geographics or Shark Week when they come on. You see
Yeah.
a shark, you always see a little ass fish following it around, waiting for it to eat because they know they can eat.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. I didn't know you watched. I always thought you only watched, stock market stuff. Now I learned something about you today I didn't know. You watch Natural Geographics. That's all right. Now, so without giving up any, nuts and bolts or trade secrets, how would you know that, like you say, institutions are pinpointing on something? Like if I'm looking at Kellogg, okay, which nobody cares about, and the institutions is looking at Tesla, which everybody wants to get some of Tesla money because nobody likes Elon Musk, but they want some of his money, So how would I know, when to get off my Kellogg's and start looking at what they doing?
That's a good question, and you're right. I can't give you that answer without giving up nuts and bolts and how you build this battleship. I can't tell you. I'm not gonna tell you.
I got you.
I can only say this: read the news, pay attention to the news.
Got you.
Get off local news and go to national financial news, national economic news, global economic news. Understand something, that every time perfect example, you get the State of the Union address that comes in January, right? After the new president comes in. Listen to what they say. They're going to come in and talking about clean energy. You got to find a clean energy company. Clean energy is what? I'll give you a hint. Electronic charging stations. That's clean energy. So find a company that makes charging stations and invest. You won't make money as income, but you probably can invest for something while you working at your regular job for the next 20 years and add a little bit of money every year. But nobody wants to do that because we all know money now means more than money later. I don't care who you are. So pay attention to the news.
Okay. All right. So you ain't gonna give up no trade secrets.
No strategy, no.
But that's that's a thought process.
Exactly. And that's my whole thing. What do you hear me say every show? My job ain't to teach you how to trade. It's to get you to think like a trader. If you can't think like a trader, guess what? You sitting back in economic class in high school, and they teaching you how to fill out a little janky checkbook and telling you to go buy this and go buy that. They teaching you how to be a consumer. They're not teaching you how to be an investor.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's see what they talking about over here. Aisha said, I like that analogy. She must be talking about the shark. Yvonne said, spit the facts, mentor. That's Yvonne. Yvonne said, we all always looking for something for free, but don't want to pay this man knowledge for this man's knowledge.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yvonne's laughing.
I've had many people that will pump me for information, will listen to me, ask me a million questions, but never pay for a class, never sign up. They ask me what my signal say about a trade that they in.
Right.
Why? Why do I care?
Yeah. Aisha said she just spoke truth. Now let me say this. Let me ask this. Not say nothing, okay? Because this your mentorship, your programming, your opportunity to encourage people. And I know you and I have talked about this years and years ago.
Right.
About people that come to you, they trust you enough to want to put their money in your hands. Come on, let's bust that down.
So let me clarify this because we don't know who watching.
Okay, there you go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for putting it out there like that.
We'll watch. We're gonna put it like this.
Okay.
I do that for friends and family. And at the same time, I make it very clear, I am not a licensed SEC trader. I don't have to abide by those rules. I didn't sign a contract with the SEC saying, hey, I can't ask for somebody to let me trade for them. So make that clear. I understand the law and I understand the rules to the game. So therefore, yes, there are people, and one of them is watching right now. He ain't saying nothing, but I know he ain't. But yeah, he put some money in his account. And I put some trades on for him. And we just sitting on our hands. It's a long-term wealth play, and there's a short-term play. So remember, you got to have both of them on at the same time. You got to have a wealth-building strategy working, and you have to have an income strategy working also. So you don't have to go drop them french fries and mop them floors at the end of the night in that nasty bathroom.
How you know the bathroom nasty, man?
It's very fast.
Let's see. Yvonne say my mentor knows this shit. Yep. And Arlo Ponder, he put a Y up there. Yeah.
That's his yes.
So,
that's his yes.
That's his yes? Okay.
Because that's what I was talking about.
Okay, cool. But, and not trying to get you in any trouble or anything. That was not the reason why I put that question, out there. But I know that people that are in mutual funds, their retirement plans and things like that, and when the market crashes 6, 7, 8,000 points, then they get nervous and scared. And then the mutual funds always make a press conference, say, don't worry, it'll bounce back. By the time you retire in 50 years, you'll have, maybe more than what it crashed on today. Those type of things. So that was the reason and the rationale that I had when I, think of questions like that, is because you have in a mutual fund, like maybe one or two people that monitor your account. Is that correct?
So when your job gives you that 401k and you can decide how aggressive you want to be, all they're doing is putting you in funds.
Mm-hmm.
They may manage that fund, but they're putting you in a fund that somebody else may manage.
Right.
Here's what people don't know.
Come on now.
Mutual funds don't trade like what we do, y'all. Mutual funds only trade twice a day. Guess what? The open and the close. That's it. There is no fluctuation like what we see throughout the day in the market. So when your company gives you that 401k and you invest in this, and I want this fund, I want this Vanguard fund or this, mutual funds literally only trades the open and the close. And sometimes the close will be higher than the open the next day. But you got to wait. Some people don't understand that. So it's very, very lackadaisical to me. So I don't do mutual funds.
Yeah. So for those people, and this is just a hypothetical general question, for those people that are in 401ks and retirement plans with their job, how do you advise them when they come to you, and say, hey, look, I don't like the 0.002% that I'm getting towards my retirement fund, and I'm 62 right now. So what do you say to a person like that?
So with the proper strategy, you don't have to exit the fund, but you can tell them what to do because it's your money. They're going to penalize you if you take it all or take some. But if you say, no, take me out of that and move me over here. But guess what? You wouldn't know to do that if you didn't have a strategy. So everybody knows that when they call me, I give them a long-term wealth strategy. Damn near for free. And I only do that because the person that gave it to me didn't want me to have it. So I give it away to everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Yvonne said, I learned something new today. Go ahead on, Yvonne. Keep hanging around me. You might learn something else. Aisha said, I paid Norman without question because if you truly listen to his interviews, you can hear the knowledge coming through his conversation. One must listen with the intention to really hear it. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Aisha, for that comment.
Yep, I appreciate that.
Because he's been spitting game for 4 weeks now. For those that are just tuning in for the first time, this is the fourth show in a 4-part series. And, you can go back to the first interview with Aisha, who's online. And then we had Yvonne. And then Norman, by popular demand, came back for the 4th show by itself. And he did the 3rd show. So in each show, there are gold nuggets in there, even if we're saying the same thing over and over again. Sometimes you got to repeat yourself over and over and over again for people really to hear it,
Right.
And I'm going to say this. After the first show, Norman called me up about midnight that night, told me, man, this dude was listening to the show and he sent me some money and he's starting his class on Monday. And I was like, for real? And then, so the numbers people start paying attention to how powerful what he is saying, because there's power in those words, okay? And people are beginning to understand. And he had been talking to this person for years, you said, right?
Yeah.
For years. And they didn't take him serious, evidently. But now they seriously put their money up. And, and we've been talking about this for a while now. He's only interested, and Von finna get mad, interested in entrepreneurial type people, people that have a business mentality. He don't want them people that all they want to do is make their wine money for the day on 47th Street. You know, they don't. He ain't interested in them. That's because they gonna get their wine for the day, and when they get their wine for the day, they cool for the day.
Right.
He don't want them type of people. He wants people that are serious and going to the next level in their life. You know, they may have a dream, they may have a goal, they may have something that they're working towards and looking for opportunities in order to try and reach those goals. And you know, at the beginning of the year, you know, he talked about, you know, how many people he felt like he can handle. I think he gave me some 25 at the time. And now people have been coming to him, joining, signing up. And what are you around? 18 now? 18 slots left?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, you got 18 slots left. You know, and out of those 18 slots, you need to be one of those people. You need to be one of those people that are calling him up, getting those 4 hours. I said it right this time. 4 hours. Take those 4 hours and find out, you know, just in 4 hours, you know, is enough to wet your whistle, you know, to make you, you know, curious about more that he can offer you. And then get your checkbook out. I don't know, do you take checks?
Yeah.
Okay, so get your checkbook out and begin to understand the value. See, first of all, for people to spend money, they got to have value in what they're spending money on. Okay, you know, let me just say this: you go to a steakhouse like Michael Jordan because you understand there's a value in the food that you're about to eat, and you're willing to pay the price to get it. Now, Norman is on the level of a Michael Jordan steakhouse. I'm just putting it out there. You know, when you go to him, the you know, the Michael Jordan's a steak gonna melt in your mouth. You know, and then you get mad because it ain't enough. You know, but Norman is giving you how you can have a regular diet of Michael Jordan and get the money for yourself. You know, get it for yourself. We got comments going crazy over here. I see them popping up. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me see. Aisha said, I recommend a pension. I recommend a person to watch all his interviews and his students' interviews too. Yvonne said, I did the same thing, Aisha, and it was the best investment I ever made. And it's knowledge no one can take from me. Okay, Aisha said facts. Arlo, I've been Norman's friend and student, and his. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, he's been around since 2009. No, 2000 and no, he's been around since 2005.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of emojis up here. Yvonne said, boo, boo, boo. You know, Yvonne said it might be a person on 47th Street that need, I knew she was coming. Yeah, might need directions. Just saying, you know. Yes, what is it? Brave Vets. If no, you know. Okay. I don't know what Brave Vets means. Okay. Anyway, but, you know, I say 47th Street, so let me just clarify. I say 47th Street because people that live in Chicago, from Chicago, know about Chicago. That's the low end. And in the city of Chicago, there's a lot of people that you know, people have written off. You know, they you know, they got a lot of drug use, they got a lot of alcohol use. Used to be a lot of, you know, pimps and hoes down there, but they cleaned up. You know, you say what?
Still is.
You say still is. But, you know, I pick on them because I don't want you to stay stuck in a rut and be in that circumstance. If you live on 47th Street and you listen to the sound of my voice, prove me wrong. Climb out of that rut, give Norman a call, and become a part of his program. And then you can call me up and be on the show and say, I was on 47th Street now. And, and look what I got. You know what I'm saying? Prove me wrong. I pick on them for a reason because I want you to climb up out of that rut, and be all that you can be, as the military would say. Be all that you can be. There's plenty of opportunities out here to make things happen.
Right.
We started a little late, so we're going a little bit longer today. So y'all bear with me for a second. Norman, I appreciate you. I'm gonna say this publicly, to everybody that's listening. I pick on him because I love him, and I appreciate the work that he's doing, and I encourage him on the air and off the air. Sometimes Norman be having a hard day. The dog didn't bit him and all that kind of stuff. And I'd be like, man, it's gonna be all right, because we have to encourage one another. One to another. And when you are a teacher on the level that he is, some of the things that, his students probably bring to him can probably be depressing to a person with the mind that he has. And I just want to encourage him sometimes, and I want to encourage him now publicly. Man, I love you, bro, and keep up the good work.
I appreciate that.
You have stepped off into an arena that not many people have stepped off in, and you're a success story that many people maybe don't even know about. He's an entrepreneur. He's got a construction business. He's got his training courses, and I can't say everything publicly that he do.
Aspiring professional golfer, don't.
That too. I was talking about that, that pimp game you got going with the Jerry curl. I wasn't going to go there, but, But, here's a person that cares about people, and the reason why I put as much energy into spotlighting him, he's been with me as an advertiser for several years now. And I try to give him all that I can, as far as space time, and an opportunity to talk to his public, his people, people that recognize who he is, like the ones that have been commenting, they follow him for a reason, and because they follow him for a reason, I want to keep them lifted up and encouraged. I recommend people to him all the time. And by him being an advertiser, I go out and find people for him, and bring them to him. Some of them he mad at me about, some of them he ain't, But everybody can't do this. Everybody can't do this, and I understand that. But you give them a chance.
Go ahead, bro. A lot of people on the internet, on YouTube, or YouTube University, they're not gonna talk to you. They're going to talk to your dreams and your aspirations. They're going to try to sell you that Lamborghini hopeful trade. I'm not going to do that. Y'all may call me a mentor. I like to think of myself as just a financial advocate. That's how I think of myself. I'm trying to show people what's possible with the money they have and the little money that they don't even know what's possible you could do with $200.
Absolutely.
There's things, Aisha told you with her interview. She did, what? $200 to $70,000 trading options. That is possible. It's just, can you manage your way from 70 to 140?
Yeah.
From there to $250,000. It's what's possible out there. So I'm an advocate for financial awareness, financial literacy, all of this, because I tell y'all, it's a reason why you don't get this in school. You got to pay for this information. It ain't free.
That's true.
They make you learn this stuff in college, not in regular grammar school where you should be learning it, as opposed to learning how to balance a checkbook in third period home economics. Some people don't think, they don't understand the game that's been played on them. And I'm gonna do my most favorite quote. Malcolm X said, "It is a fool that will let his enemy raise his children."
Yep, absolutely.
Take control.
Yeah. Well, look, we got to get out of here, man. As always, always ask my guests what it is you'd like to leave with the people before we leave today.
Um, Yvonne said it best. Take a chance on yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he froze up. But we understand and we appreciate once again you guys tuning in and commenting. Everybody on the comment section, we appreciate you. We love you. Stay tuned. Be sure and spread the word. Spread the word. I want to invite you guys out to join me each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron. Every Saturday at 12 noon, come and find out what is on my mind. What's craziness is coming out of my head. Appreciate you guys. Be sure and join me each and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time because I always got something to talk about. Donations, please make donations. These are all the areas in which you can make contributions. Every single one of these areas lead back to me. Please subscribe, like, and share while you're here. Every time we go live, you'll have an opportunity to be able to get notice that I'm live again. So I appreciate you all. I love you guys. Stay tuned. Stay safe. Let's make this money, y'all, because it's out here to make. Stay blessed.